At 9,999 rupees, this phone here gets 4x4. Not the off-roading 4x4, but 4x4 MIMO that claims to boost the network speeds by 73%. And like all claims, we put this claim to the test in our 360-degree Gadget 360 review. So let's get started. The Tecno Spark Go here gets a plastic build, but it is fairly well put together for this price segment, and that also keeps the weight light despite a big 6000 mAh cell. The design is clean other than this dummy camera bump right here. You get Tecno Spark branding at the back, 3.5mm jack and USB-C port at the bottom, a speaker grill up top with volume buttons and power key that is also a fingerprint sensor on the right side. The fingerprint sensor requires some time to unlock and even completely misses out time to time. The back also gets smudgy at times, but this phone has IP64 which gives some peace of mind. Plus the box gives you a charger, cable and a color matched rubberized case so you can get started with using the phone right away. The Tecno Spark Go gets a 6.74-inch 120Hz display with 240Hz sampling rate and a dedicated high brightness mode. Despite that, the outdoor visibility is okay and you can't really watch videos under direct sunlight. It is a decent panel for day-to-day use, but don't expect punchy colors or solid contrast, especially at low brightness, and at higher brightness the sharpness takes over and that might irritate your eyes. But before you think of this as a bad screen, think of this as a sub 10,000 rupee phone screen which is smooth, decently responsive and has okay outdoor visibility. Also, if you like watching videos, you can use the headphone jack or Bluetooth earbuds as the speakers are loud but lack clarity at higher volume. There's a single 50MP camera at the back and a 5MP shooter up front. Daylight shots are decently detailed, but shots with high contrast colors lose out on details. For the 2x shots too, dynamic range seems to be fairly limited. But back to daylight shots, you can even take quick photos like this from a moving car. Low light shots are a mixed bag here because sometimes you'll get really good colors and contrast and other times blurred images. But with little bit of exposure control, you can take decent low light images almost all the time. You also get 2K video support from the rear camera, but the footage is super shaky. Lowering the resolution to 1080p 60 FPS improves the smoothness, but there are still occasional jitters if there is a big shake, and that will be visible. The front shooter also goes up to 2K 30 FPS video, but it is better kept for video calls and occasional selfies in the daylight. Tecno has fitted the Spark Go here with the MediaTek D6400 Ultimate chip. While the box says 8GB RAM, this is with RAM expansion, so the actual RAM is 4GB. While expansion should help it during heavy workloads, the phone runs fast even when it isn't active. However, even with MEM Fusion on, the phone has a certain lag to it time to time. Like if you see something and you want to take a quick picture, it will be probably gone before the camera even launches, especially if your phone is locked. Lock screen gestures are also a hit and miss here. But day-to-day use apps like WhatsApp and YouTube work really well, and you can also binge watch on this phone because the battery backup is really good. However, there are some pop-up ads that show every now and then. But if you play BGMI, then this phone is only good for balanced settings because the 240Hz sampling rate is also going to hurt you a bit. On the bright side, it can handle light games like Subway Surfer, and you can also multitask smoothly and switch between apps without any major issue. You get HiOS based on Android 15. There are some useful features and gestures and some bloatware too. The interface is mostly clean and you can remove most of the bloatware also. Then there is Ella, Tecno's in-house AI that can summarize documents, set alarms and do some image editing too. It is a bit rough around the edges but works fast most of the time. And Tecno's 4x4 network boost claim. Well, not the 70% strength that we expected, but I got coverage in my lower basement parking with the same SIM that I use with the other review units. So it definitely works, and even if you won't be able to watch a video from your basement, you should be able to make calls and drop text from a lower network area. And on that note, here are the benchmarks. In 2025, we have seen batteries getting bigger and bigger, and this one is also fitting a 6000 mAh cell. And that's a good thing because I got a full day of mixed use from it. However, the 18-watt charging is too slow. I only got 50% in 1 hour 40 minutes, and to get a full charge out of it, it takes 2 hours and 30 minutes of charging. So Tecno, if you're watching this video, then the Spark Go here has a really good battery life for the price, and a faster charger would have complemented this phone and made it a better package. So let's do a quick pros and cons verdict for this one. On the pros side, we have a clean design, IP64 rated build, decent display for the price, the cameras that are good for outdoor shooting for the price, and high OS experience with additional gestures and LI And lastly, the solid battery life. What could have been better? Speakers, certainly. A better front camera would have made it a better package, and charging is too slow at 18 watts. That said, the Tecno Spark Go here is a 10,000 rupee phone, and there are some shortcomings in most devices in this segment. But if the pros side weighs more for you than the cons side, then you can definitely consider the Tecno Spark Go as a good option. And drop us a comment if you have any questions about this phone. My name is Manik Beri, you're watching Gadgets 360, and I'll see you in the next one.